I was watching some Brown accepted this. Yeah, basically, and it's probably like the fifth or sixth I watched. But they're frankly short, right? And there's this quote that this guy is saying. Um, I'll just let it play for you.
Truly belong. Maya Angelou put it best. You are only free when you realize that you belong no place. You belong every place, no place at all. The price is high, the reward is great.
It just came to me how, frankly, throughout growing up, I would come up like the thing that he quoted. I said myself a couple of years ago, how when I was dealing with where do I belong, battling my own identity and saying, am I Greek? Am I Romanian? Am I Cypriot? Am I Roma? What am I? Who am I? Where do I belong? Do I belong everywhere? Do I belong nowhere? And as I gave it more thought, I frankly think it was when I was 15, I realized that I belong everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. That everything is nothing and nothing is everything all at the same time. And with that being said, it just made me realize how I've, uh, I've just arrived at the same conclusions or thoughts that other people have had before me who are pretty great. Like, even when I was 13 and I was just in my room walking around and giving up a speech to no one but to myself and just just talking to myself and whatever else, just saying how where you live shouldn't determine if you live or not, and the kind of life that you're going to live. um Little did I know that Nelson Mandela said the same thing, a couple of decades before that. But that was my thought at the moment. That's what I thought at the moment. And even what he quoted, like, I thought about the same thing without even knowing about the great people who have thought these things and said these things before me. And it just makes me feel a bit better, I think. When I say better, I mean, like, it makes me feel a bit better about the way I perceive myself, because sometimes my own self-confidence and self-value drops for no apparent reason, but just because I'm alive and I'm struggling at times. And it just makes me forget about all the great things that I've done or I've said or I've thought, and how good of a person I am. And because it just doesn't, I don't feel like that sometimes. Because our perception of our own self, at least in my case, it's never still. It always changes based on, I would say, like, exterior factors, and I think that's not even okay to even think of it that way. Even if I fail, even if I succeed, I'm still valuable no matter what. Of course, we all are, because our value isn't determined on how useful or how much we could provide, or just whatever else we think our value is based on. It just isn't. um so maybe, I guess, my lesson is to just remember that, I know how, like, I was, like, jumping around from topic to topic, but my takeaway is I shouldn't let exterior factors ever dictate how I perceive myself or my own value. And it's just, like, such a wow thing to think about, because I'm currently in my senior year of high school, and when it comes to being a senior in high school, it's nerve-wracking. The pressure is on. Regret might come in and knock on your door. It's just a lot, I think, especially with the system of my country. Because, like, everything's about the last year of high school. Like, nothing else mattered beforehand. Like, grade-wise, when it comes to university-wise and all that. Which, it's like yes and no. Like, I don't know, it can be seen as a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The topic is not about if I think it's a good thing or a bad thing. The topic is, I feel like there's a lot of pressure in my life, and I'm not the type of person that can handle pressure really well. And I thought maybe I can work with that and be like, oh yeah, no. And if I change my perception of my own self, my identity, I think of like, yeah, I handle pressure really well. You know, I can convince myself that I can. But like, it's just like how I feel right now in the moment. You know, it's like, I guess by me saying that, by default, I have to change my identity, the way that I see my own identity, and you know, think of like I'm a person that handles pressure really well, instead of just thinking like, oh, I'm just not like, I'm not one of those people who lives for pressure, or like who handles pressure so well. Yeah. Yesterday was a very exhausting day for me, frankly, somewhat. It was more nerve-wracking and anxious-provoking, and yet it's just like my basic needs were barely met yesterday. Like, I didn't sleep enough, I didn't drink enough water, I didn't eat enough. So you can imagine about the, you know, just mentions, what was he, feuds, pyramid, when it comes to that, you know. If you don't know, I'll show you in a second. Before I show you the pyramid, like this types of video, kind of great, and also it's weird how like there's a lot of variety when it comes to them. Like there are great video portfolios that were not accepted, and also other ones who were like, okay, it's a good one, but I've seen someone who had a better one. Why did this one get accepted and the other one not? You know, for a sec. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really nice to see how other people are spending their time and how other people spend their teenage years, and you know, you can get a lot of inspiration from them and whatever else. But with that being said, I'll show you the pyramid. Before I show you the pyramid, I have to say, don't let external factors dictate your internal world. I am pretty sure that's really broad, but that's the whole point. It's for you to apply to absolutely everything and anything going on in your life. Okay, so I tried to do a bit more research about the pyramid of needs. You know, like I mentioned, Freud's pyramid. I searches up of Maslow's pyramid. There's also this whole subredding and this whole conversation of if these things are even real or not, and you know, it's psychology is very tricky and whatever not. But I'm gonna use Maslow's pyramids of needs for this one, which frankly I don't really have an opinion on or whatever. I learned about it a couple of months ago or so, and I just mentioned it because, you know, it did stuck out to me, you know, how your basic needs should be met and your psychological needs, and then self-fulfillment needs. Since yesterday, I barely ate, I barely had water, barely rested. Security and safety I had, though. My psychological needs are somewhat estimated needs. Thing of you know, it's like everything's like you know. The thing is about me, like even before when I was learning about things of such and pyramids or whatever not, I would always go from the top to bottom instead of bottom to top. Like I'm pretty sure I have more of self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative, blah blah blah, you know, instead of the other ones, needs and basic needs, which is something I should work on. You know, but honestly, I'm at a point I don't even have the first one. It's like I don't know. I don't know if I even agree with that pyramid or whatever. I don't know how I feel about that pyramid. It's there. It exists. I don't need it. I don't have everything, and I don't know if having all of those things truly make you feel better or more fulfilled or whatever else. Paint. Because I haven't painted in a while, and yesterday it occurred to me that I'd like to, you know, pick up my, you know, paints and maybe try painting, because I haven't painted in so long. You know, I feel like the thing is, when it comes to becoming a fulfilled human being, you know, individual, of course, you have to have your basic needs met, you have to have a great relationship with yourself, and you have to have a great relationship with others. Like for me, I don't know, I feel like I'm just, when I don't have like any of them, it just feels so like, really, like, okay, my basic needs are not met, my relationships with everyone else are lacking, my self-esteem is lacking and my productivity is lacking. Can I live? Like, I remember in my first year of high school, it was like this. It's like, how many? Because people are like, okay, you can like choose between friends, sleep, and grades, right? How do I have none of them? Like, I thought I could at least have two. But that was my reality at the time, and frankly, I feel like it might be right now again. And I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be that way. My painting sucks, but I haven't touched it in a really long time. So yeah, there's that. So that basically makes me sad because it's like literally it goes like a domino effect of being ruined or not becoming better. Like that was their progress, which is what? Because I don't know it. I don't know that. Like really what? I only know progress and becoming better and better and self-help and productivity and all that. But like seriously, I just feel like my relationships are lacking a lot. Like, cause like I don't have any like really great friends at school, and even if I do, I don't ever see them outside of school, and I mean that's like just friends out of convenience after all. And when it comes to my actual friends, well, I rarely see them anymore, anyways. So it just makes me feel really, really alone and isolated. Not to mention all the time I spend alone at home. And it's just like this thing where like, since it's like trying to fill that void with like mindlessly scrolling on your phone or texting someone for a couple of hours to feel like you're socializing, but in reality you're not. Or just watching a YouTube video to make you feel less alone, or to just learn something, but it's not really the thing that you should be doing anyways. But it's just a habit at this point, and whatever else. I don't know. It just feels like I just feel like alone, you know? And obviously, maybe I'm not alone. Obviously, there are people who might feel the same way, and obviously, I have loved ones, and I have to remember that. I have to remember that people do love me, that I do have people that care about me. But, like, and I do, and I do, and I do. But, just, it's just, there's a difference between remembering some nice text your friend texted you a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, or a couple of months ago, or whatever, versus going out with your friend for coffee and talking and laughing for hours. And for me, my love language is quality time. So you can imagine me not getting quality time just feels like, I'm not loved, or whatever else. And my friend said that, well, Maria, people express their love in different ways, and you just have to learn how to conform to that or understand the other one. And it's just like I thank you for your words of appreciation. I appreciate them, but at the same time, like they just sometimes they just don't go into like my brain. I'm just like, yeah, but like I don't like really feel them or truly understand what they're saying, or like the severity of what they're saying, or like the genuine, like how genuine they are by with their words. Cause it's just like I think it's somewhat true in a way. I don't know. It's like when you hear something over and over and over again, it almost feels like it doesn't mean as much in a way. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I have mixed opinions on that one. I'm a bit annoyed right now because I was painting in the kitchen and my dad distracted me and stole my kitchen away from me in the living room. And I told him to go back to his room, which maybe it's kind of weird to you, but I don't care. Because I wanted my space, okay? I don't want to be locked in my room. Let alone, I'm always locked in this house. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go on the TV and, like, watch content till the end of time? I hate being disrupted. Times like this, it's just like this feeling of like, wanting to be alone, but also wanting to be with people, but also like not anyone being with the right people. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, I'd rather be alone with the horrible people, but at the same time you're like, okay, but like this sucks as well. It's like both options suck. The only option that's actually great is like when you actually have great people and you're with them. Ugh. Getting emotional, angry, and stressed and anxious and worried and hurt and vulnerable. And it's reality. Maybe I should like just be even more honest with in my own psychology and psychic and my relationships and my childhood and whatever else. That was like too TMI for the internet to keep. But it just feels like at least there was no one who I have closest going through the same things that I am and right here right now. Like my great friends are either, you know, a bit older, they're right now in uni, or a bit younger, they're not seniors, they're maybe like, you know, juniors or whatever else. And they're not in like my sphere of issues and problems and anxiety. You know, it's like my friends who have already overcome it and my friends who are next who are gonna feel the way that I'm feeling and they're gonna go through these things a bit later on. But I don't think I have any like close friend that like truly just is going through the same thing that I am at the same time, which whom I can talk to about somewhat, you know. Maybe I shouldn't worry that much, you know. I don't know. There was a chapter we did in English where there was this article thing that we read about pressure and ways to deal with it. Maybe I should go and read that again. Maybe that'll help me. I remember some things from it. The thing that like I remember from it was probably just remembering your past wins. And like remembering like or like planning this like alternative plan to your life, you know, because it's like, okay, if this doesn't work out, then it's fine, you know, because I have other options, you know. just like puts like the pressure a bit more, like it eases it. But it's like I'm gonna be fine. I don't know why I worry so much. Because like that's the thing. It's like I worry so much, and that just destroys my performance and everything. I hate like I feel like I'm just a big warrior. Like, I don't like that. Like the whole like I always have to worry about something, you know. And it's just what they say, you know. It's not about life is not about waiting for the rain to pass, but it's about running, like dancing in the rain. You know, it's same thing with like worries and like the pressures of everyday life. Because it's like, okay, I worry today, I worry now about like some you know, test or exam or you know university or whatever. Then I'll worry about what like I'll always find something to worry about with like the way that I'm thinking, right? I'll worry about like you know I'll worry about there's always something to worry about, right? I speak so fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's always going to be something to be worried about, right? Tests, exams, school, uni, jobs, money, electricity, housing, food, you know, whatever. There's always going to be something to worry about. But the whole idea it is to live despite all of those things. It is to not let these things suck you dry of your enjoyment of life, of the life that you have inside you, you know? It is to not let those things impact you, you know, so much that just it destroys your own health. Because health is wealth. It is. But, you know, so just taking a deep breath in and realizing that we have to take another approach and see another perspective and be positive. Because honestly, like, honestly, I even thought yesterday, or when this guy was, you know, like, I talked with like two people or whatever. One of them, I asked him, can you believe that we're seniors? And he was like, no. Cause yeah, like no, I don't like what? Like I am the one who's the old one now. Like I'm the one who you go for advice. Like okay, that one, okay, sure, but like I am the senior now. I don't know. This doesn't feel like that. Like it's just it's something that you look to, but you're not there. And with the other person, I was like, don't you feel like time went by so fast? He's like, oh yeah, definitely. That's like I don't remember when I first came to school, and then now we're gonna like close in like a month or less, and it's just like senior year is almost over basically. It's like what, or it's like I feel like the first year of high school, like everything just went by so fast. It's just something that everyone says, and you don't believe till you graduate, right? It's like, oh my god, everything went by so fast. And then like when you're like a freshman, you're like, oh, can we get this over with already? But like no, it does go by really fast. um and it just makes me think about like everything that I worried about, everything that I'm worrying about right now. Like I'll never get the chance to do everything that I'm doing right now, I'll never get the chance to be a senior in high school ever again, right? You only do that once. I'll never be able to I'll never get to take that test, on Monday. Thank God. I mean, uh, that math test on Monday. But think of it in the bright side. Like, you'll never have to do this again. Why not try your best and have some fun with it, but also like truly give it your best. Cause like the mindset is like, okay, this is it. This is like another one. It has to be perfect and right? But like instead of like, oh, it has to be perfect and I can't mess up and oh my gosh, this is just pressure is on. I don't know. What about okay? This is it. This is the last time I'll get to take a test and um in the first semester of high school. How like that's wonderful in a way. Like there's a beauty to an ending. Um and it's gonna be like I know bit. Like oh I get to do this and like in 5 months I won't ever get the chance to do this ever again. You know? Like think of it from that perspective, I think. Right? Not to mention like I have like a pretty horrible like like school counselor. I legit came to her being like, I wanna be a pilot. Uh what are my options? What can I do? What's the program there? And she was like, Google it. Like, girl. She's like, go on the internet. I'm like, girl. I did. But like, you were supposed to give me more information and guide me a bit. She's like, go on the internet. Like, girl. Do you get paid to tell students to go on the internet when they have questions about their future? You're supposed to guide me. You're supposed to give me advice. Your advice is go get Google's advice. The fuck? Like, oh my god. Yeah, which sucked because it's like, okay, you didn't even try to like look at my options because obviously there's things that they're supposed to know that I'm not. But like she just told me that like no, Miriam is just like what she indirectly told me and what I got from that conversation is I'm only here to just market, students who aren't that good at school towards private universities. So the private universities get a lot of money. I'm not here to actually guide you. Like, Maria, of course not. This is capitalism. Right. Right. I'm joking. This is not just capitalism. It's just horrible counselor, I think. My school's at least. I don't know if, the student counselor, oh my god. The counselor at other schools are better or whatever else. But, yeah. But like yeah, like having like a good counselor would help me and put my mind on less like put my mind on ease and make me a bit less worried about everything. But like they don't teach me anything. They don't tell me about my options. They don't tell me about my chances of getting in what university. And you cannot even find those like things online. Because the system is so old. And it's like, okay, Maria, like, yeah, because it's so old. On the internet, there are new ones. But, like, on the internet, there are no new ones. On the internet, in Greek, you can barely find anything.